Hello guys, this is Royo69501 and welcome to my channel. Well, the comic that I'm gonna display is yeah, Spider-Girl issue number 3, which on the cover we have the Fantastic Five. Now check out this cover. Awesome, huh? You know, that girl used to be still a good read, even though that is from the 90s. I really like that issue series. I think I only have maybe 25 of the whole run. I don't have the whole run, but it was fun. It was fun. It was kind of like the old original Peter Parker, but his daughter. It was fun. It was a good reading. It was a good read. Well, on this video, I'm gonna give you my thoughts for this crossover between Batman and the Flash called The Price of Justice. So here's part 1, Batman issue number 64. Check that out. Part 2, Flash issue number 64 also. Batman 65, which pretty cool cover. And part 4, Flash number 65. Well, the story. I really like this story. It was really good. Was really good. So this is kind of like, it's not the second part, but I see it more like a follow-up from this story. The bottom, when we see that they team up to investigate the famous button, which that story they never touch it again. I wonder why. They haven't touched it. Yeah, they did a crossover, all that, but they did not have any follow-up or nothing about this story. So the price, we see the team up again of Flash and the Batman investigating again. So this story, the price, takes place not before, not after of Heroes in Crisis. It's part of the story of Heroes in Crisis. It's kind of like a spin-off without using the name spin-off. It's kind of like a side story, but it's very connected with Heroes in Crisis. Okay, this story. Well, the story starts when Batman is trying to do an autopsy, what it looks like an autopsy, to Wally West. Now we know that Wally West, he died here. He died. At least that's what it looks like. Because here it showed me kind of like, because seems like Wally West, he kind of like shot himself. So I don't know. It's like he took his own life because he was screaming, "You did it! You did it!" So that's kind of makes me wonder. So here the story starts that the Justice, excuse me, the Justice League is finding a bunch of Bizarros. Resemble of each member of the not Bizarro, bunch of Amazon, each power. So that's how everything start, and then from there we see that the Flash is not himself. He's still thinking what happened on the sanctuary, right here, when he went over there and find his friend died. After he came back here. That's the ironic about this story, The Price. Even though the Batman and Flash are investigating the button, we also find out the return of Wally West. from the timeline, whatever, God knows where he was, just to come back, just to die here. I know that eventually when all these, with Doctor Manhattan and the rest of the gang, and the Justice League and the DC Universe, everything's gonna be back to normal. So I would think that maybe they will bring Wally West back and have his own series or whatever. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I believe that they're gonna bring it back somehow. They will figure it out. So we see that, and then from there we go to the Flash Museum in Circular City, where the place is being attacked by, guess who? It's being attacked by, I'm going to show you, because it was awesome. It was attacked by Gotham Girl, as we can see here. Yep, Gotham Girl is one of those. I remember that thing was the first story arc of the Batman Rebirth. That was the night of the Batman. Well, that's where that character comes from. Now her brother died because even though that they have superpowers, the more that they use it, their own superpowers, they will kill them slowly, kind of like a cancer. So Batman convinced Gotham Girl not to use her powers, otherwise she will die. So in a way, Batman is trying to find a cure to her condition, which I believe Batman experiment trying to find a cure is the reason why her brother died, because she blames Batman a lot, and Batman feels guilty himself as well. So here we see that Gotham Girl somehow she brought her brother back to life. Now we see, I get to see a shadow behind Gotham Girl the moment over here when her brother comes back to life after many tries. Now that hulky shadow or silhouette reminds me it is either Bane or Darkseid. But there was a story with the Penguin, I think it was, that on the last page when the I think was in the Batman books when we see Bane sitting kind of like he's sitting on his own throne, on his chair, surrounded by a bunch of villains, a bunch of superheroes, everybody, and one of them was Gotham Girl. She was part of that gang. So and also I believe that this silhouette has to be Bane. I don't think it can be Darkseid, but somebody's behind Bane by doing what he's doing. So maybe it's Darkseid. Who knows? If it's not, well, it kind of looks like Darkseid because I get to see kind of like the color of his forearm. Kind of has the same color as Darkseid, unless they change the tone of color because for shadow effect. I don't know, but to me it looks like Darkseid because his eyes are glowing. So unless Bane has glowing eyes also. So anyway, so from there we go back to the museum. Flash is running like always, and they go to a specific island because on the museum they find out kind of like a piece of a plant. This only grows in a specific island, the middle of the Atlantic. So while they are there, they're both thinking of each other. Flash is thinking about Batman, while Batman is thinking about Flash. And they both kind of like they're studying each other, and they both end up having the same conclusion about one of each other, which it was really cool. So we see Iris calling Flash. Then once we get there, we see that they get into a room, which the room is full of pictures of the Justice League, specifically Batman and the Flash. Check that out. Now I have to say that the art is wonderful. It's eye candy. Love the art. Who's the artist? Sandoval. So while they're investigating, Flash still remember about Wally West. Not Wally West, Barry. So because that place is where Gotham Girl was recreating or cloning Gotham, her brother. Awesome, huh? So they have a many lot of tries until one that finally survived. Kind of reminds me of Doomsday. So, excuse me. So they are continue investigating. The thing is that that liquid that she used to revive her brother or recreate her brother is based of venom. It's kind of like a super venom. So, and it was a trap. They made Flash and Batman to arrive there. So while they're there, uh, Flash asked Batman, "Yeah, look, I know that you had her trying to find a cure. Did you send her to the sanctuary?" If Batman sent Gotham Girl to the sanctuary, and Batman doesn't answer, and Flash is getting frustrated. I mean, he's really getting pissed off with Batman's attitude that he doesn't answer the question. Well, what he says is, well, I was helping her, trying to get her better, but he doesn't answer the question whether Batman sent Gotham Girl to the sanctuary. He doesn't answer that question. Even though when the story ends, we still don't know if he actually sent her to the sanctuary. Flash thinking that she might be the one who killed everybody there. So the thing is that Gotham Girl shows up. She's kind of like a Superman, kind of. So they are fighting. Her brother shows up. Look at this. A lot of action going on. And I have to admit that the story flows really good. This is written really good, really good. I mean, to be the crossover, actually, it was written by the same writer, so maybe that's why the story flows so easy. So the thing is that Gotham Girl, she just flew away. Now, part 3, Batman 65. To me, like I said before in this video, it was an awesome story. So from there we go back to Gotham City when she's kind of like telling us her origin story because she believed that every hero should have an origin story and how she got her powers. And so she's kind of like recreating in her mind because she's not too good of hero, not at all. Uh, about recreating her origin, which is basically a copy paste of the Batman of Bruce Wayne, except that the bad guy doesn't shoot her parents. She punched the guy so hard that she kind of like ripped, the bad guy's head off. She punched him so hard. Check that over here. That she actually punched his head out. So then from there we see that she's flying, thinking about everything. We see Flash and Batman still fighting all those copy of her brother Gotham. So the thing is that while they are fighting, which I always find that funny on the comic books, when they are fighting, you see that they are really busy fighting or falling off the building. That while they're fighting, they can have a conversation and not concentrate on the fighting that they're having at hand. Or when they're falling off a building, they're still talking. Kind of like they're not worried, so they can actually have a conversation before they hit the ground. Things like that always make me fun or funny. One of the funny aspects of the comic books that they can actually, they're multitask. They can fight in mid-air, fall at the same time, and have a nice conversation before they hit the ground. I know, but you know, that's one of the funny parts about it. So we see that Batman and Flash fighting all these Gotham look-alike, and Flash begins to blame Batman. Flash says, "This is all your fault. This is all your fault. Another mystery built by you that bites the rest of us in the ass. You claim you planned for everything, but I bet you didn't plan for this." And Batman, he just stays quiet. He just goes silent. All you hear is just crickets. So when Flash runs away, he kind of like maybe step on the stone and hit it back that actually hit on Batman's face. Not the rock, but the dust. So over here, the last panel, small panel right there. So that just told me that Flash he's losing respect to Batman. So from there we go to the apartment of Iris, and she's kind of like writing, and Gotham Girl shows up. She wants to kill her. Oh, actually, she wants to kill everybody. Flash shows up, and then her brother. And Flash says, "Yeah, but you should not be doing it because I don't want you to happen the same fate that your brother had. You're gonna die." And she said, "Who's dying?" And we can finally see the full flesh of her brother, Gotham. Gotham. Aha. Then from there we see. So actually, Gotham he's very powerful. He took almost all day Justice League on the Batman books when they first arrived to Gotham City. So he punched Flash so hard that he almost sent him cross town. So right at the moment when he was going to punch Flash so hard that was going to kill him, Batman shows up, saves the day. Not only that at that moment his body begins to melt, as we can see here. That's because of the power that they have, the dark matter that they have. It would consume them to the point, and that's what happened to her brother. The power plus the venom, the super venom serum did not work too well either. So now Gotham Girl, she's blaming Batman and the Flash because of this, and she just fly away. And she's really pissed off. Check this out on the last page. Now she's full of energy. I'm telling you, this is a great story. If you've been reading Batman books and Heroes in Crisis and you read the button, oh, this story is gonna fall so easy because I mean you have knowledge of those two stories. This story is gonna be easy to understand. Now the people who have not read Flash or Batman or The Button or Crisis in Heroes in Crisis, well, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Although the story is self-explanatory, but they mention a lot of stuff that happened in those previous story arcs. So issue number 4, part 4, Flash number 65. We see Flash running to the sanctuary just to find that the other Flash died, Wally West died. So the thing is that they fought so hard that Gotham Girl, she kind of like grew up because of the dark matter on her system. So she's kind of like plummeted to the ground, and she actually died. So Flash is trying to save her life and Flash. So eventually they work. They kind of like pump her out. She gave me kind of like a CPR, till eventually she came back to life. But Gotham Girl, she actually died, just to have no memory of what happened. And so here, Iris shows up, and she blames Batman. I mean, everybody's blaming Batman. You see, Batman has the reputation to know everything, to have always have a contingency plan for everything. That he knows everything. That he knows what's best for everybody, because Batman always been that way. So Iris, she's really pissed off at the Batman, blaming Batman for what happened to Gotham Girl, and not the situation that is going on. And she actually slapped Batman. So Flash threw dirt on Batman's face. Iris slapped Batman now. You know, it's kind of like one of those days that everything goes wrong. Well, well, I guess it happened to Batman. I guess that Batman, he better hang up the cowl and take a long vacation, go to the Bahamas or whatever, some other planet for a couple of for a long time, because everybody's getting pissed off at him. So from there we go back to the Batcave. Batman put her kind of like in a liquid tank where she's gonna be kind of like suspended animation until he can find a cure for her, or how he can control her. And Flash says, well, what if she and you get to find kind of like a way that she can control it and she snap again. Batman says, well, I got a contingency plan, and this right here is when Flash, he lost his patience. That was it. Was the last drop that Flash has with the Batman. I mean, that was it. I mean, sorry that this video is taking long, but like I said, the story is so good. So the thing is, Flash was so pissed off that he recharged himself, that he activate the countermeasures of the Batcave. You see, because Flash says he died along with Wally West. You act like you have all the answers, but you just are as clueless and playing it by ear as the rest of us. The greatest trick the Batman ever pulled was making people think he always has a plan. Ouch. So Batman did not like that. I mean, he's getting punches. The thing is that Wally West says, yeah, but we know the price that we had to pay for being a hero. With our life and the loved ones, everything. And we still pulling people into the hero business. So it's kind of like they're questioning themselves, the moral of bringing people into the superhero life with no consequences because of it. Or Batman is responsible for Robin's death when the Joker killed him. It is Batman's responsibility. Well, he's the one who brought him to be Robin. So it's kind of like that moral question: is this right or is this wrong? So that's another aspect of this story: is what is right and what is wrong. So the thing is that they put everybody in danger, their loved ones, everybody, and Batman, he just lose it. He lost it, and he tells this to Flash. At least I never forgot one of my partners existed. And he's talking about Wally West. Oh boy. This is when you can see the flare coming out of the Flash eyes. So he activated the countermeasure of the Batcave, and Flash just avoid the attack from the countermeasure of the Batcave, just to punch Batman. And Batman, he just standing there. This is the first time I saw Batman like he was there like to take the punch and look what happened. Check that out. Awesome double spreads page. Look at that. Just great. And Flash says, I could hit you 100 times before you can throw one punch, but I'm not you. And just run away. And then we go back to when Iris was writing the obituary for Wally West. So Iris, according to the story, he kind of like left the Flash. So he's reading it. And Iris says, but then I realized something, Barry. I wasn't writing Wally's obituary. I was writing yours. So Flash just run away. And we see Flash, Batman doing the whole thing separate. Then we go to the Batcave where Batman has all his TV panel or whatever you want to call it, his big ass monitor. Have all the pictures of different superheroes. So it's kind of like he's talking to somebody off panel. And the thing is that Batman is kind of like he cannot trust anybody. He doesn't know. Yeah, Batman is conscious that, or he noticed that some of the superheroes had some erotic personality change, kind of like Barry Allen. So he's suspecting everybody. We know that Batman always been paranoid. So the thing is that he's talking to Superman. Now I have to say the artist, he drew Superman's cape. So awesome. Not just a regular cape, kind of like with lots of fabric. Check this out. Looks like the cape is almost like if it is alive. Check that out. Just awesome. Love it. So now Superman and Batman are team up in their shoes because they're gonna investigate what's going on and what happened to the sanctuary because they still don't know what happened there. They have two suspects, Booster Gold and Harley Quinn. So Booster Gold doesn't know what's going on. Harley Quinn, well, she doesn't know what's going on, although she knows, but on her insanity, she still don't know what's going on. So the story ends without ending, just right there. Kind of like reminds me of the bottom. It ends without end. And that was the story. It was about moral, the responsibility of bringing people into the superhero business or life, and all that. It was really good. I love it. And I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 because I really enjoy this story arc, crossover, or whatever. And the best thing is that it was a 4-part crossover. So the story it doesn't need to be 5 or 6 issue. 4 issue was perfectly. And to choose the best cover, I have to choose, well, I'm going to choose this one. Batman number 5. Yep. When the Flash is pissed off at the Batman. So I'm going to give this story 5 out of 5. You need to read the button to understand this in a way, but you can find that online, kind of like what is called you can find what the story is about online with the button and Gotham with Gotham Girl. Also, you can find that online and with the button, like I said, and the other one, Heroes Crisis. Heroes in Crisis. You can find what the story is going on so far, and you can read it, and after you kind of like read it a little bit, just to have a basic knowledge of what's going on, then you can read this crossover, and you will understand it. But it was really good. And like I said, I would give it 5 out of 5. What can I say? It was great. Well, guys, this is it. I hope that you like this video. To live. Bye.